Alright, so in this video we are going to do some discovery about Lightning Web Components. So let's skip all the yada yada and I'm going to go right to the core. You can read this through your own. So basically, Lightning Web Components consists of three main files or components. First is the JavaScript file, second is the HTML file, and third is the CSS file. So the HTML provides the structure for your component. The structure. JavaScript defines the core business logic and event handling. So like the brain, okay, or the nerves, the brain. HTML is like probably the bones. CSS provides the look and feel and animation of your component. This is the makeup or the clothes you wear. Probably a bad analogy, but something like that. So, long story short, let's see how this works. So you have the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. This is a really simple example just to see how it works and combined together. So to test, we are going to use a web components.dev website. You can click on this link right away, pop this up on a new tab, and you'll see it's loading. And let me crank up the font and the view a bit here. There. So this is the stories tab, all right? And you will see the result of the Lightning web components that are structured here. So this is the CSS file, the HTML file, and the JS file. Okay, so this will build this output. So let's do the example from our Trailhead. So I'm going to copy the HTML first. Let's copy that. And if I go to app.html, I'm going to paste everything there. Next, I'm going to copy the JavaScript and app.js. This would be the brain, so to speak, or the nerves. And then I'm going to copy the CSS, the makeup or the clothes for this app. Defines how it's going to look like. And then I'm going to hit this save button here. Just to save that, save all changes, and boom, you got a simple Hello World Lightning Web component. So this is just a teaser on how Lightning Web components are constructed. All right, so you can use the web components.dev to simulate of how the component will look like. And then we can eventually deploy that on a Salesforce dev.org or Scratch.org to actually deploy it on a Salesforce instance. So that's basically the gist of this whole trail. And let's do the quiz together. First, a Lightning Web component requires which of the following files? We have HTML, JS, and CSS, but the CSS is actually optional. As you can see here, CSS is not required. So at a minimum, all you really need is an HTML file and a JavaScript file. CSS is optional to style. So the makeup or the clothes is optional. You can go naked out there, just it's gonna look weird and ugly if you go out naked. So HTML and JS. An IDE like web components.dev lets you do which of the following? It will let you try your components files in a simulated environment. So this web components.dev is just a simulation of how it's going to look like when you deploy it to your Salesforce org or Scratch org or Dev org. So you can't deploy stuff from here. You're going to deploy that with your Visual Studio Code, VS Code, and other development tools or platforms. So that's basically it. Check the quiz and earn 50 points. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Hit that subscribe button and explore new Trailhead grounds and learn to implement the most useful and popular apps on the Salesforce App Exchange. And do yourself a favor, like this video, and you'll be surprised on how much more you understand when watching this same video after liking it. Don't take my word. Watch this one more time after you like the video and see it for yourself. Bada bing, bada boom.